Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome back to Sovereign Gaming. So today I am taking us back to my SimCity create a world build, I suppose. And today I'm actually going to be building a lot just to the right of the shipyards that I did in the previous episode. And today's focus is going to be all about the military base happening right here in the industrial port neighborhood of SimCity. And the reason why I felt that it was a good fit is that military bases are already very secure locations, and because I did do some extra work with the Create a World tool to make this area feel a little more secure, I felt that it made the most sense to really have the military base here. And also I was never going to end up doing like a huge military base build anyways, just because it's not really my cup of tea. Now, I know that there are some buildings out there that are multi-use buildings, such as some city halls, if I remember correctly, that also double as a military job location, but I really don't like those, and I feel that the military base, in this case, deserves its own kind of lot and its own building. So the military community building that I ended up choosing was, I believe it's called like the Mangoes military base. It's the one that came with Sunlit Tides. And the reason why I chose it is because it felt a lot smaller. It felt like the architecture kind of matched the neighborhood just a little bit more, it being like a little more feeling like a warehouse in my opinion. So that's why I really went with it. I didn't want the military base to be such a huge focal point in the city, period. I just kind of wanted it to be a little more subtle. And the kind of look and feel that I'm going for here is just trying to develop it as more of a coast guard rather than a military. Sure, like if I remember the career tree correctly, you can become an astronaut here, and I even kind of put in a little tongue-in-cheek joke about it in the lot description. But but yeah, the look and feel that I was going for is more of a coast guard that would actually be patrolling the waters of SimCity and keeping it safe, and also welcoming in those cargo ships and being able to execute the security protocols necessary to take in international shipments. I also added in some more of those mooring anvils. They seemed easy enough to place for houseboats and all that, so I just decided to slot them in there just to make it additionally functional as well. But I also added in the into the future storage tank because we have been using it at several lots, including the water treatment plant. And there have also been, if I remember correctly, that was actually the only other location where we really used it. So I really wanted to continue that theme here just so that it wouldn't look out of place when looking at the SimCity dockyards. So that was the reason why I kind of put that there. Plus, with this being an industrial port, there's all kinds of storage storage infrastructure that is needed to take in all kinds of materials and goods and services. So I really wanted to have that emulated in this build and to just kind of make it all come together. Within the story of the actual military base itself, it could also serve as an emergency water reservoir, for example, so that if something does happen to the water treatment facility, that the military would actually be able to supply that emergency reservoir of water to the citizens if something were to happen. So there's a couple of ways to really think about that storage tank from the Into the Future expansion pack, and I felt that it was appropriate, and I actually quite enjoy that it has made its appearance at the military base in SimCity in this kind of a way. As for the docks themselves, I really wanted them to mirror and complement the docks in the shipyard lot. These lots are pretty much side by side with each other, so what I'm really aiming to do here is just make sure that they complement each other so that when you zoom out and actually look at SimCity, either in Create a World or just zoomed out while you're playing the game, that the lots actually look like they sort of fit together, like they make up a sort of larger lot. There's also some inspiration that was taken from ports around where you can clearly tell that there are lots of docks and they take very similar shapes. And sometimes you can even tell that there's reclaimed land involved in some cases, which I guess is emulated here with just the use of the foundation, both in the military base and for the shipyard lot that we built last time. I'm sure that you may have noticed, but I have not been using pretty much any plants at all for all of the lots within the SimCity shipyard neighborhood. And there is a reason for that. And the reason is that shipyards and industrial ports are a lot more concrete heavy. They're a lot more heavy on the infrastructure side of things. So I really just wanted to focus on creating that kind of a look and feel by omitting using really any plants. I don't even use like LJ or anything, or not that I think that this game has LJ in it, but I avoid even using like water-based plants that would possibly make sense here. And it might be something that I go back and edit once I can edit in the game. But but again, that will be something that I will have to consider in the near future. But for now, the way that the SimCity port neighborhood turned out, being pretty much plantless, pretty much barren, if I dare say so myself, I actually quite like the look and feel of it, as it just felt a lot more industrious to me. So yeah, maybe there will be an opportunity where I just go back to some of these lots or even back to the port neighborhood just to add in a couple of shrubs here and there. But I really did want to keep it very much focused on the concrete and the man-made infrastructure surrounding it. Speaking of more lot builds and all of that, if you're new to the channel or if you're just kind of tuning into this video, unfortunately this will be one of the last lot builds that I actually officially do and finish on this channel. And the reason for that is that I am in Create a World using the editing game mode, and I stupidly purchased some extra items on the Sims 3 store, and unfortunately what that means is that Create a World just does not want to play nice with me, and so it's not allowing me to actually use the editing game function to actually edit the lots. So what that means going forward for this series is that it's really going to focus mostly on the Create a World aspects of the SimCity journey that we're kind of having here. So even though I'm going to have a bunch of empty lots or whatnot, at least I'll be able to create the world and create the geography and everything that I need to use the actual Create a World tool for. I mean, I can place as many lots as I need, but I can always edit those once I export the world. So I will be returning back to doing lot builds and all of that, but for now, this military base is really the last one that I am able to complete for the SimCity build series so far. And for the film studio that I mentioned before, that's just north of the cement factory. That will be something that I will partially show you guys, since I get pretty much halfway done and then I got bored and then I went to the Sims 3 store. So yeah, big mistake. If your Create a World tool is working properly for you, do not go shopping on the Sims 3 store at all. Just avoid it, finish your world, and then keep it moving. I just don't make the same mistake as me in this case. So yeah, that's kind of where the series is going to go going forward when it comes to lot builds. I finish up this lot build, which was pretty short, just with an outdoor gym that's kind of there for the soldiers to use, I suppose. And I just wanted to be rustic, basic, and all that. I also finished up with doing some of the extra security work. As you saw, I fenced off the entire lot with that matching red chain link fence that I'm using throughout the SimCity port neighborhood. So that was something that felt good for me. And also, you know, some other similar themes that I've used throughout these kinds of industrial port builds is the use of lighting and warning paint on the floor there. So I use that again to just emulate that there is just to emulate a similar theme that I have been using throughout, and that Sims are not in a residential area, they're not in a commercial area, they're not even in an office block or an office park. They are they are in a place where there are security protocols, and I continue that throughout this build with the military base here. So with all of that said, I think we are pretty much done here. The orange lights add a really nice touch. It helps it feel a lot more industrial, for me at least. And yeah, I think that we are all done here when it comes to the military base build. In the next episode, we will be detailing the port area just a little bit more, and also I extend the road work northwards to actually frame out the Old Town neighborhood just a little bit better for us to start working from. So we have that to look forward to as well, so please stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed this video, and if you've been enjoying the SimCity build series so far, feel free to like and subscribe. Anyways, just want to thank you again for watching, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.